When it comes to, the extra pumping sessions, what are some other ways that moms can increase their breast milk? I know there's tons of different foods out there that's recommended or supplements. What do you recommend your clients that come to you that are kind of like, okay, I've tried these extra pumping sessions. What can I do now?
The main things in general is making sure that you're drinking lots of fluids. People don't realize that actually just drinking water can increase milk production. And you think about it, if you're dehydrated, you're not actually having enough fluids for yourself. So how can your body make more, like extra milk for the baby? So you got to make sure that you're hydrated. So making sure you're drinking plenty of fluids. That can be water, juices are okay. Try to eliminate your caffeinated drinks to about 1 to 2 a day with breastfeeding, but really just the water itself in general is good. So making sure you're drinking plenty of fluids, making sure that you're stimulating, making sure that you're resting. So the key for me, what I usually will tell moms is the stimulation and the hydration. Okay. Those are you. If a mom will tell me, I was super busy yesterday and we were out running around and I literally probably drank a bottle of water. The next day, they will usually see that their supply is lower, maybe baby's fussier, they don't seem as content. But say one day she drinks a lot of water and then they'll say, oh my gosh, I got up this morning and my breasts were actually engorged. It's because your body has enough to take care of you as well as supplement those needs for the baby. So stimulating the breast, hydration, making sure that you're resting. Foods. Now, foods are great because it's going to kind of help boost it a little bit. But say if I have a mom who's making an ounce, foods are not going to increase it to where she's making 4 or 5 ounces. Okay. So these are just things to kind of give that a little extra boost that maybe mom needs. So anything that has oats in it. So regular oatmeal, granola bars with oatmeal, lactation cookies, anything that is oat based, super helpful. A lot of products that you'll see that increase milk production as far as marketing things will have brewer's yeast. That's another really great one. A lot of green type foods. So asparagus, spinach, avocados, apricots, dates, flaxseed, fennel seed. So there's a lot of things that you can just add into your diet in general that will help increase supply. But moms will say, okay, well, I ate 2 avocados today. I didn't see anything. Well, it's kind of a collaboration of everything. The additional stimulation, the drinking the fluids, the adding some of the things to your diet. And then if I have a mom that really needs to increase supply, then we're looking at, okay, definitely the lactation cookies that have the brewer's yeast, or adding some brewer's yeast into maybe some of your cooking, or galactogalogs, herbal supplements that have things in them that will help increase supply. Sometimes moms are much more compliant just by taking a pill versus doing a whole bunch of cooking and dieting things that okay, it's just easier for me to take a pill that will help increase supply versus doing some of the other stuff. So there's a lot of things, but again, just remember the two main things are increasing your fluid content and stimulating the breast. What is taken out is going to get replenished. Okay. So the more frequently you're breastfeeding, the more frequently you're stimulating, the sooner that the body's going to produce milk and the more that it will produce for the baby.
Awesome. Yeah, we always try to say, like, when people reach out to us, like, it's not a magic potion. Like, you can't just eat a cookie and it's gonna automatically come in. Like, and everyone's different, but there's so many different parts to it. And hydration, yeah, is key and kind of like a whole puzzle.
It is. Well, and that's what I tell moms. It's like, we got to figure out what the missing puzzle piece is. You could be breastfeeding, you could be pumping, and you could take the supplements and nothing is still happening. So then we have to look at the big picture. And that's usually, when you're seeing a lactation consultant, make sure that they're asking you what your history is. It could be something so simple as Oh, I bled after delivery. Well, that is a huge key. You know, when you lose a lot of blood, your body is dehydrated. So that has to get compensated. Maybe you have several siblings and none of them were able to produce milk. So we have to kind of look at the big picture. So know that if you are doing those things that we tell you to do, those key items, and you're still having trouble increasing supply, there's another piece to the puzzle that's got to be put in there in order to figure out what is going on. So definitely make sure that you reach out to somebody. A lot of times it's just an easy fix. I had a mom a couple of years ago that she was doing everything. Baby was a good nurser and just was not making milk. Like she still had colostrum at like 2 weeks out. And here to find out, she was still having a lot of menstrual bleeding from the baby. And she actually had retained placenta. So when you have retained placenta, your body still has a higher level of estrogen and progesterone, which when you deliver the baby and you deliver the placenta, your female hormones fluctuate. And by doing that, it increases your prolactin, which is your milk making hormone. So because she had some retained placenta, it wasn't actually counteracting and increasing that prolactin. So her body was still kind of thinking it was pregnant. So she was just still producing colostrum. Once we were able to take that, she was able to make a full milk supply without any problems. So it was just a matter of me going through questions and saying, okay, well, how is your bleeding since you've had the baby? And right there was one of the keys. And that could just be something, so simple that we could fix that ended up, fixing the whole problem and ended up breastfeeding without any problems there on out. So yeah, it's definitely a puzzle that we've got to kind of put all those pieces together.
Wow, that's amazing. That's something I think a lot of people don't think of, that, it's just this one size fits all, but it's actually such an individual thing.
Mhm. Yeah.